Welcome to part 1 of Journey Through Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we're covering Season 1, Episode 1, Encounter at Farpoint, Part 1. The date, September 28, 1987. It has been almost a year since we last saw Kirk and crew in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. And it has been 21 years and 20 days since Star Trek, the original series, premiered. I, like millions of other Trekkies and Trekkers, was anxiously awaiting the premiere of Star Trek The Next Generation with bated breath. What grand new adventures were we going to see? What would the new Enterprise look like? Who could possibly be a successor to Captain James T. Kirk? Finally, we get to see Encounter at Farpoint, and we saw the Enterprise NCC 1701D, the bloated, ugly monstrosity of a ship shot from the worst possible angle to try to make it look cool. Well, at least the interiors were bland and beige. Well, it could be worse. Look, it wasn't impressing me, but at least we were going to get a new captain to return us to the swagger that was... What the f***? So the new captain is a balding, skinny French guy with a British accent who's almost as old at the beginning of his tenure in Star Trek as Kirk was now in the twilight of his career? Really? Now, interestingly enough, later in this same episode, Picard will ask Data to simply search the Starfleet database in his mind to find information on how to separate the saucer section. But here, we get Data not know what the word snoop means, when I can type snoop into Google and get this. So yeah. Anyway, on top of that, we also have Troi for the first time giving us completely useless and or obvious information.
I'm sensing a powerful mind.
Shut off that damn noise!
And we meet Trelane, Q, a godlike being that dresses up like former ship captains and tells Picard to go back where they came from.
All it takes are a few good men.
That nonsense is centuries behind us.
But you can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
I agree we still were when humans wore costumes like that 400 years ago.
Picard comes up with the strategy of, turning off the intercoms and printing out instructions that they're going to run? Why not just have the helmsman hit the max speed button? Anyway, the next phase of Picard's brilliant plan is to eject the saucer at high warp, which of course has never been done before, and is cited to be extraordinarily dangerous. I would imagine in large part due to the fact that the saucer has no warp engines and of course will be crushed like a tin can the instant it left the warp field. But they do it anyway, and of course due to plot armor it works. And we get to have Worf getting slapped for the first time in Trek.
You will command the saucer section, Lieutenant.
I'm a Klingon, sir.
You are a Starfleet officer, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Make the mark, Data.
So now, to the final part of Picard's brilliant strategy. You see, Picard, despite his English accent, is in fact French. So he of course does what every great French military leader does.
We surrender. State that we are not asking for any terms or conditions.
Q puts humanity on trial for being bad, and Picard whines about Q breaking his promises.
You promised the prisoners will not be harmed. You were considering that if you conduct a fair trial, which was your promise.
They then go to Farpoint and pick up Riker, who is puzzled by mysterious apples and cloth. It's just some kind of weird space magic that the Bandai can magically produce and manufacture instantaneously anything they want at any time. It's not like the Federation has ever seen some kind of matter replication technology or anything.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot. Tea Earl Grey hot. Tea Earl Grey hot.
So, in the tradition of Spaceballs, Picard has Riker watch Encounter at Farpoint on VHS, but it was edited differently because reasons. Geordie freaks us all out a bit by showing us his eyes. Hope we don't have to see that again. And we find out that 137-year-old Admiral McCoy was on the ship all day. Too bad he didn't just tell Picard that he could have just had Worf punch Q in the face. Always worked for his old boss.